So, good afternoon, everybody. It's weekly update number 67 today, and the sun is back. It was been 32 degrees in Malaga today. Well, that's what it said in the car. Cars always give a false reading, don't they, though? So, here we are, weekly update number 67. Well, 67, and you'll notice that I am back in the office. Thank goodness we are here in the office again. It has been a bit of a nightmare since we had a internet outage a couple of weeks ago. You would have seen, for those of you who follow Scatz's channel from YouTooSpain as well, that I turned up for a live show. There was no internet. I only had 15 minutes to try and sort something out. And ever since that show, it's been sketchy, patchy. It hasn't worked at all. Everybody's been having to work from home. We haven't been able to print. I tell you, when you're working in this job, it's a nightmare. But today, we got the final news that the internet is at 100 meg speed or whatever they call it. And that was about 4:30, about 4 o'clock. And I ran into the office, and hopefully now there'll be no more disruptions. So yeah, I'm very pleased to be back here doing the videos in the office where I feel comfortable set up, and we will be doing more videos as well from here, because I haven't released any other videos, to be honest with you. The last couple of weeks has been a bit crazy. Just going to check who's on the chat. Who's there? Hey, Andy, how you doing? And Andy said, hi, Chris. Hope everything's well at your end. That salad looks wonderful. Hand pink waving. Yes, I'm going to tell you about that salad. I was very proud of that. That's one of mine. I used that for the thumbnail. Hey, Robbo's on. How you doing, Robbo? Or Robo, as my son calls him. And here we go. I'm getting messages now. I need to turn off my WhatsApp, actually, then I. Here we go. Let's turn off the WhatsApp. Oh, now what am I doing? I don't know. Hang on a minute. Let me turn it off. There we go. Turn it off underneath there. So yeah, all good, guys. Who's on? You got 8 people on. Tell me who's watching. How you doing? Are you enjoying this weather? So I said 32 degrees here in Malaga today. Absolutely boiling. We've gone from, oh, do you want to put the heating on, to, oh, where's the aircon? So that's good. And then next week, I'm hoping to have somebody on again. Now we're back in the office with me doing the weekly updates, and hopefully we can get into a nice summer rhythm. So what's been happening? Well, I have scraped some notes together for you this week. It's been a busy week and a crazy week because we had the new immigration law come into effect. We I have to turn my WhatsApp off here because 1 second. I literally just came in, opened up. Luckily, I had 10 minutes to set the video up. I forgot to even put the thumbnail up, to be honest. There we go. Somebody asking, are we closed for Ferry tomorrow? No, we're not closed. We're open 24/7. No, we're not. So we had the visas in this week. Well, the good thing is we've got visas coming in. The bad news is they are taking their time now, and we are coming into the summer period. We had Edinburgh to Malaga, which went over the 12-week period, and we were preparing a letter to send to the consulate, one to the BLS office, an email, because you sort of send them nudges very politely. Excuse me, I'd just like to remind you that my visa has been over 3 months now. We do have plans to move to Spain, but with all due respect, it's best not to go in hard, rah, rah, rah. You have to do this, you have to do that, because you'll end up at the bottom of the pile. But if you said, we find sending a nice nudge letter, and we send it recorded delivery from here, you know, explaining people's plans, then sometimes at the end of the day, your file is sat on a desk somewhere, and that nice polite letter always seems to get results. Well, we were just about to send one, and it turns out that on about 98 days, the visa was sent through. So just over 12 weeks, nearly 13 weeks, Edinburgh to Malaga. And that was with no extra requirements or anything. That's just how long it took. Malaga to Manchester to Malaga, again, another visa out, but just over the 3-month period. So they are taking a while to come through. But as I said, London's working well. And just a note on that, on the timing element of when you put your visa in, to what you say about the healthcare. I know I said this before, but this is something that we want to reiterate to people, is you want to start your healthcare after a visa appointment around the date that you'd like to enter. So, for example, we've got some clients going next week who want to be in after the 1st of July. So, to start your healthcare in July means you're not wasting June. You've got to have it paid for, got to have your certificate, got to have it ready to present on the day. And but start it in July, and then you won't be wasting anything. But then it shows the consulate that you want to come in July. If they take longer than a month to issue your visa, you have to wait the full 3 months, then you are going to be wasting that healthcare. But it's a bit of a juggling act. You could put it at August, but then if you put it at August, the consulate are going to say, well, actually, no, you need healthcare to go, so we might start your visa in August. Paul Cook's jumped on. He says, Buenas tardes, Chris. Buenas tardes. These, see, we're only now 1 month from the longest day in the year. So the San Juan, the 23rd night, I think it is, or the summer solstice is around there, is the longest night of the year. And I can tell you these long evenings, I must be getting old. They're killing me a bit at the moment, because you sit up and I'm looking going, I can't go to bed yet because it's still light. At 10 o'clock, I'm sat there going like nodding off. I do like to get up early, but yeah, these long evenings, about 9:30 for me is perfect for the sun to go down. But this 10 business, which is coming up to by the time we get to San Juan, that's far too late for the sun to be going down. So we've got 12 people on today. Wow, that's good. So spoken about the visas, I did some notes as well for you here on the way over. What happened? So we've also got here, we've got Jane Says, which is fastly becoming our new section for the weekly update. Jane Says. So Jane's there battling away in stage 2. Well, I'm always at stage 1, helping people prepare the documents for stage to get to the consulate. Jane's there at stage 2, organizing the appointments, the translators, up and down the country, and dealing with people's padrons, etc. And Jane always sends me some notes. So we're going to have the new section, which I think is Jane's notes, or Jane Says. But just before we go on to that, I wanted to talk to you about the new immigration law. Well, that came into effect on the 20th of May this week. We knew that some systems would go a bit awry, and aside from not having internet in the office, everybody remote working, we wanted to see what was happening. Well, unfortunately, Victoria, one of our appointment specialists, took Neil, who you're going to see later on, to his appointment. Neil and Sue, I'm going to show you a photo of that. Where is it? He sent me a lovely photo from the appointment, if I can find it. There we go. Check this out. This is Neil at his appointment on the same day that the residency law came live. And shortly after he sent me that photo, I got a message to say that the whole system had crashed and they couldn't do his appointment. But we kind of expected it. The good thing is Victoria walked out with a piece of paper which had a stamp on it, because they love stamps here, and said that gave him an appointment for the 29th of this month to go back and get his TIE card. But today, because we had another appointment for Sue. Now, what you have to remember when you're going to these appointments, it's very rare now in some of the provinces we can actually get the appointments together. And I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So you have to just go when you're told. Sometimes it's going to be separate. But today, Julie went with another appointment specialist who works with us. She's amazing as well as Victoria. They really have, between all the guys in Alicante and Murcia, pulled it out the bag this last month, between Jane, Victoria, Julie, and she's got a bit of a team up there as well to get the actual appointments. I'm talking working at weekends. What goes on behind the scenes is incredible, and they really have pulled it out of the bag for anybody in Alicante. We had a waiting list of about 25, 30 appointments, and that's down to about 6 now. So, yeah, well done, guys. And even well done to Julie, because not only did she get Sue through today, she got through... excuse me. She got through Neil as well. So, well done, guys. So Neil and Sue, congratulations. Your renewal is now complete. Just got to go back and get your cards. But yeah, well done to the team. You really pulled it out the last month or so to get these appointments lined up. Another thing that happened the other day, one of our clients, well done, Chris, got his own appointment in Orihuela. It was for the next day. Victoria ran down there, met the client. We always send digital files now to print out, put in our folders, which our guys keep with them. Because the tax is now long past the days where you used to have to go and bank stamp them. You can get them done now in some actual bank machines. You can just go up and pay your money for the registration tax if you've got an account with the BBVA or the Cajamar, and the Caja as well, I think, do it. And we can actually now, as of this year, pay them online in our Sabadell account, get the what they call justificante piece of paper, and send that straight off to our appointment specialist. They'll print it off, put it in the pack and go. Then what happens? Well, this just shows that you get some, what they call them funcionarios, people who work behind the desk. One of them, no, we're not accepting them anymore. They have to be stamped by the bank. Ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. It's not 2015 or 2005 when you had to have a stamp on the bank. Anybody can get stamps if they really wanted to falsify anything, can't they? You can get stamps from Vistaprint. What counts is the digital code, which is on the tax, which is the NRC code, which validates the actual document itself, not a stamp. But obviously we had someone there who wanted to see a stamp. So poor Victoria had to run down the road with the client with the taxes which were paid through my bank, obviously here in head office HQ, and then they asked them to stamp it. They were more than obliging, stamped the document, ran back to the police station, and well done, Chris, for getting your TIE card. And we will be hammering the appointment system this weekend to try and get some more appointments. What we've got going on here in the messages then. Patricia, yes, we're just off the phone, aren't we? Yeah, you're the first person that ran into the office. Let's have a go. So, hi, Chris. Great after today. It was a bit of a marathon getting past the verification camera stage. Massive thank you. Well, massive thank you to you. We had a good, I thought it was possibly the BLS system. We're having a lot of problems with that at the moment, but this is what's coming about now when booking an appointment with BLS. It's everybody who uses a laptop seems to be having problems with the verification for the photo. This is about the third or second time. And I saw it for myself with Patricia today, where we sat on the laptop and I was doing some screen sharing software and tried formatting it, the photo and doing everything. And these guys had been at it since 9 o'clock in the morning, just wasn't having it. And then later on, they gave me a call and said, we've done it, but we did it on the tablet with a new formatted photo. So it seems like mobile phones and tablet devices seem to be working a lot better when booking at the BLS office at the moment. We're up to 17 online now. Our last video was rubbish. It didn't do very well. 100 views. We're still going for, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're still going for 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which means I've got to hit a target of 4,500 by the end of this month. So please create accounts and subscribe. No, I'm joking, but get your friends to subscribe. If you are watching this and you want to move to Spain and thinking about it in the next couple of years, book a call, get in there early. We love speaking to people early. We really do. Our calls are actually blocked now until July the 17th. July, around July the 6th. But if you are thinking of coming next year or later on in the year, get a call booked in, have a chat, and then you go into our system. And when you're ready, we're literally cracking on now with visas. I spoke to people 2-3 years ago. It's a long game. And it helps you to get organized. And then we just stay in touch on these mediums and stuff like that. So, yeah, get a call booked in if you are looking to move over on a non-lucrative visa or an EU platform, maybe, or even registering your car. Right then, what else did I have before? Oh, yes, let's talk about the new immigration law. So the appointment system collapsed. The good thing is it only collapsed for a day and everything else has been running swimmingly. And we've had appointments today and yesterday, and they've all gone really well. I want to give a big shout out also to Tom, our translator from Malaga, who many of you who watch the channel and are here in Malaga know, because he's had 2 trips up to a place called Linares in Jaén. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes there and back, and he's had to go twice over the last couple of weeks to get some appointments over the line there. because we just couldn't get the appointments. The ones we did get were 2 separate days. The appointments were actually booked by our team in Alicante, so well done, guys, there. And tomorrow he's got to go up to Baza as well, which is another 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then come back again. So he's been in a lot of long driving. The old Upsticks mini car is doing an amazing amount of mileage, but it has to happen. These appointments have to get over the line, so well done to him. Apart from the appointments collapsing, which are now back online, the Mercurio system stopped for a while. They did put a little maintenance note on it, and you also, at the moment, we got a note saying that you can't present the renewals through the online platform. So any of you guys who are presenting an NLV renewal and not doing it yourself, you have to use a system called Residency, okay, rather than Mercurio at the moment. But we think Mercurio will probably go live again next week for renewals, but at the moment it's Residency to present the renewals. But they seem to have done pretty well. The tax system, the 790052, which is not the taxes you use to actually get your TIE card, it's the tax system you use to get your renewals and things like that. So when you're submitting on the Mercurio platform, 790052 is the tax that you use, and that system collapsed again. Well, collapsed as a note came up saying we're updating the system, updating the prices. That came live again today. So far, with the new Spanish immigration law coming into force, everything seems to be working well. All right, so we saw that the new models have been updated. So the EX models that going now to, I think that's going to EX26 now. I should have got a screenshot off to show you, but yeah, so they're doing well with all the new laws on there as well. So let's say hats off. I'm wearing my hat today. I forgot this is where I'm wearing my hat because I need a haircut. Hats off to the Spanish government. At the moment, everything is running as smoothly as can be expected with the new law. Okay, then, and the last note was I had still huge problems with getting appointments in Almeria and Huelva. I had 2 glimpses of hope this week with Almeria, where I actually got onto the booking system, and then it just collapsed again. I'm sure that it's bots illegally taking the appointments, but we continue to try. Right, so I've been waffling on for about 17 minutes about residency and stuff. Let's have a look at what we've got going on with our YouTube channel, shall we? Well, not that many YouTube comments because I haven't been doing that much on YouTube this week due to the internet problems. So I'm going to put the 3 comments that I found up here. Oh no, first of all, let's start with this. This will do. Michelle, thank you very much for your review. We have used Upsticks to apply for our 1st and 2nd year and 3rd year residency, also to help us with our Spanish driving licenses. Wills have been very happy with the service they have provided. We would highly recommend Chris and Jane, and we'll continue to use their service. Michelle and Mark Bick. Cheers, guys. Thanks for that. That's lovely to get the review up there. Poco, we're getting up to 200 reviews on Google. And this one here, I haven't actually read this one. This was on our how to pay a speeding fine in Spain without a digital certificate. Hello, Chris. Great video. I am in Spain and I'm a Spanish resident, but I will be out of town in July and August. I received notification from my rental agency that I have a speeding ticket, but I have not received notification personally by certified letter yet. And the rental agency said it may be 2 to 6 months before I do so. I am concerned that I may be out of town during that time and will not be able to pay my ticket on time. I will not know I've been notified and I will not have a notification date to use. Is it possible for me to pay the fine ahead of time? I do have a notification number and I have an NIE number. Normally not. Now, normally it's not possible to do that because what happens is the car company would have been given the fine, so they've been notified about the fine. Then they have to identify the driver. They would have then identified you, and then that fine is reissued to the person who drives the vehicle. what I would suggest is get yourself a digital certificate and get the Me Digiti app or a Clavi from the tax office and get the Me Digiti app. And I'll see if I can show you mine actually while we're here. So I use Clavi on mine on my phone. And if I want to sign into the DGT on the Tinterweb on the computer, then I use a digital certificate. And you can see everything on there. I don't mind showing you mine. Here we go. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it with this camera. There you go. You can see my ugly mug there, probably. I'm not too sure. That's my driving license on my phone. And you can see I've got 2 cars registered on there, right? One of them, you can see, has actually got a red triangle against it. Well, that means there's something against that car. So when you hit it, it says, Reserva. That means that the car has finance against it. So if you've taken finance on a car and that's got a red thing which says Reserva, it means you can't sell the vehicle until that's gone. Okay, so it says it indicates that the vehicle has been bought via contract of ventures, which includes finance, blah, 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 blah. So you can't sell a vehicle which has been financed in Spain. That's what that looks like when it's on your app. You can see the points I've got on my license. So there are 15 points on my license. Remember, the points work separately in Spain, work differently. You get given points for being good. You get points taken away for being bad. You'll start off with 12 points if you do an exchange. And then if you stay here longer, as time goes on, you're actually awarded points. So I've got the full points there, which helps towards my insurance. Now, on this section here, you can see if you swipe, should have done that there. If you go to the top, probably can't see this, can you? You can see where it says Mis Multas. I'm just hoping there isn't one there. Woof! Cool, there we go. There's no fines pending. But if there were fine pending on here, then I could just hit pay fine and do it on the app. So I suggest get Me Digiti app and you sign in there with digital certificate or with your Clavi, and then you'll have no problem paying any fines which land in there. You can also set it to send you a text message to warn you that there's a notification. Right, then, that's quite a long-winded answer, wasn't it? I hope that helped. If anybody's on the chat, give me a shout. We've got 19 people watching today, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people on the chat. So let me know who you are. Say hi. And this was Between the Lakes, very, very popular podcast, up at 600 views now. Great. Well, that's popular for the Upsticks channel. I know it's not popular for like a Diary of a CEO or anything like that, but it's popular for us. Great catch, Chris. We had a lot of information from Mike and Yvonne living here. And we're also working with, that's from Phil Green, with some of Mike and Yvonne's friends at the moment. I was talking to him today, Graham. And then living here is totally different to tourists because we live more Spanish life, not visiting English and Irish bars. From Graham Bothera. Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky, aren't we, really, depending on where we are. So if you fancy going to an English shop, the Spanish, I generally frequent probably more Spanish establishments because in Alarin de la Torre, that's really what it is. But my social group's Spanish, but like you can still get it. So it's great. I went on a holiday with my friend to who lives the same town as me, and we always go away for their anniversary. We didn't go this year actually, but last year we went away and we went to the town of Fingarola. So we went 15 minutes away, but we got a little hotel. We're just on the coast, and I took him to an Irish bar to have a pint of Guinness, and it was just amazing that you could have that experience like on the doorstep. And my mate who's from here was like, wow, what's this all about? And I was like, this is what like an Irish bar if you were to go to Ireland, which is the closest it's going to get because they'd never get on a plane. So it's great though, we have that on our doorstep, but we also have the Spanish bars, and most of the time, most of the coastal towns, which get to the slightly more remote ones, have that. Scats and myself, we are going to do a bit of a disaster video. So how to deal with things and a bit of advice if things aren't going your way. Right? We were having a laugh the other day saying that since I broke my arm last year, I'm pretty sure that I've walked under a ladder or something like that because there's a few things which have gone a bit skew with. I said that'd actually make a nice show to tell people what to do in the event of an emergency. or when things happen to you. So we're going to have a laugh on that. Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, Spanish time, 9 o'clock UK time. So what have we got left here for YouTube? Oh, that's it for YouTube. So we're going to go on to Out and About in Spain. And Out and About in Spain, we've got quite a bit to show you actually out and about in Spain. And first of all, a big thank you to Stu and Joanne, who sent me over some amazing photographs from their day out in Cartagena. And I'm just going to bring that, if you can see that there. I tried to immediately transition into reading out their email, and that didn't work, so I've lost it now. Never mind. And they said, here we go. Hi, Chris. Had a trip to Cartagena yesterday and met with to meet some friends who are over here on holiday from the UK. Lovely weather, such amazing city to visit, and they've sent me all these photos. Check it out. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? We've attached in photos of the harbour area and some of the main buildings in the city. Well, I find sometimes when I go to these cities, I'm looking at something, I think I really need to learn more about that, because you're looking at something beautiful, but you're not actually realizing what it is. We had lunch, which included drinks, grilled swordfish, a couple of intricate tornadoes, a grilled vegetables and potatoes bravas, approximately 22 euros each for the four of us. A city centre, really good value, and food was lovely and service was very good. A friendly city, well worth a visit. So many places to see, from naval museums, architecture, marina and naval port to the Roman theatre. So yeah, that was, thank you very much guys for sending these over, and you can see it looks like an amazing city. It really does. I've been to Cartagena, but then only like to do appointments and stuff like that, and haven't really explored as much as I'd like to. So you guys who do get appointments with us, don't forget that it's not just to go there to get your TIE card. There's plenty to see. And we quite often use the Cartagena station. We do, because it's one we can get appointments at. So there we go. That is Cartagena for you. And we've still got 17 people on. Come on, give us a shout on the chat. And oh, did I show this one? Here we go. This was the food. Oh, that looks nice. It's like a swordfish, isn't it? Type thing. Cathon, is that? Do like the peppers though. Pimientos de padrón. There we go. That's a typical Spanish dish. Apart from it's a cup of water, not a beer, if ever I've seen one. And wow, that's a nice bit of beet there, isn't it? There we go. We can expand that a bit more. Get rid of me. And yeah, that looks lovely. There we go. So thanks for sending those over, guys. That's amazing. And we've got a couple of events to tell you about here. Now, one of them's actually happened, but I just wanted to bring this up to your attention. Now, here in Malaga, Marbella, they have I think it's called the United Nations of Malaga Summit. It's organized by Nicole King, who does the Marbella TV station, which I've been lucky enough to do a couple of interviews on in the past. And it really does do a lot of things to help people and charities, and especially elderly people. So United Nations Marbella Summit, you should check that around May. If you're living in the Marbella area, in the Malaga area, it's definitely something happened this week. Sadly, I couldn't go, but it's definitely something to check out. And then I found this also happening in Malaga at the moment. Now, when you're on the coast, there's an awful lot of people trying to do an awful lot of good and putting on events to raise money for people. So this is a benefit event, basically to help people who are in need on the street, victims of domestic violence, etc. And there's such a crossover between the Spanish and foreign community and immigrant community, people who live down there, putting on these events to raise money for people who actually need it. Because it's quite easy to forget that there's people here who do, because we live in a very very cash rich, shall we say, on the Costa del Sol. You see big houses, people who have worked extremely hard their whole life to then come and retire here and spend their money. But it sometimes gives a false, a false economy. There are people out there working and still struggling, or people on the street, and it's great to see people putting the effort in to help those people. And what else have we got? Remove that. And we have here, oh, here we go. This is from Neil, who successfully got his renewal done today. Ferry de Mayo in Torrevieja. Has any of you guys been to the Ferry de Mayo in Torrevieja? Never heard of it. Looks fun. That looks like a flamenco dance here. Kids doing flamenco dancing. And the more, wow, look at the size of that stage there. Look, did you have to have special tickets to get there then, Neil? Did you? Let us know. Yeah, it is Ferry time now, isn't it? It's Ferry time all the time in Spain. There's always something going on. You just got to know where to look. These would have been the where you go and have your drink and stuff. The Ferry in Malaga is in August, but and it's brutal because everybody there, they drink this sweet wine. Oh, it's horrible. Definitely a few people sleeping on the grass normally after the Feria de Malaga. And this would be all your stands and stuff. So the Feria de Mayo, is that the main? Check it out. I don't know a lot about the Feria de Mayo in Torrevieja, but looks like it was a bit of fun. So, and I couldn't open the rest of your photos, Neil, for some reason. They're the only ones that would open for me. Right, and what else have we got here? Oh, and now let's go for our main feature, shall we, of this afternoon. Let's wrap up on the main feature. Don't forget that if you enjoy our lives, you can buy me a coffee, and this QR code here at the top. There you go. And I always forget to put it on. Oh no, that's that way. There you go. You can buy me a coffee there. In summer, we can't guarantee that'll be a coffee. That might be a cheeky beer after work, but anything that's any funds that go in there definitely go to aside for the cold beer fund when you've finished the work in the office. Which made me laugh today, actually. My mate and our mate here and our colleague Costa said to me today, who works up in Valencia, he does all our stage 2s up there. He's got his own business as well, working with immigration, and he's a fantastic guy to know, fantastic guy to chat to be honest. And he's very passionate about his work. It made me laugh today. He said, "Oh, it's got so hot." And he was like, he said, "Well, because it's so hot in a shirt and tie." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is about as shirt and tie as I get." Much to Lara from Upsticks Drives. Discussed. Now, main feature. Check that out. I was very, very proud of that, to be honest with you. That was the weekend. It's got warm. We did the sardines on the speto. Sardines are a great way to feed a lot of you. If there's between 10 to 20 of you, it's a great way. Just go down around €5 a kilo, €4 in 4 kilos of sardines will feed up to 10 to 15 people with a bit of bread and oil and sardines, and you can't beat it. So I volunteered myself to make the salad. Now, let me explain about this salad. This salad isn't just a mishmash of everything I found in the fridge quickly put together at all. It is, well, slightly was, but it is, because I could be bothered to go to the shops. It is my twist on the Ensalada Malagueña. Now, if you don't know what the Ensalada Malagueña is, Google it, because it's the weirdest salad in the world. They actually have boiled cold potatoes is the base of the salad. It's like it's like a base of potato salad, but doesn't have any mayonnaise in it. Right, and it's actually quite hard. Spanish potatoes aren't always the best to boil up; they just fall to bits. So to get that point, you have to be very, very clever. And as you can see, they're extremely firm but soft when you bite into them. So I was very pleased with that. You then have oranges Okay, so it's mixed with oranges. It's an ensalada malagueña, and it's typical this time of year because even now we've still got a few trees which are holding out of oranges off. So that's oranges from my garden. They're actually they weren't the best to peel because they're tailing off now, the oranges. But if you leave them on the tree long enough, I managed to find a few that were worth it. And then you've got things like a little bit of garlic chopped up in there, onion chopped up in there. I always use the red onion because I find that they're not as strong. And in the recipe that I saw for the ensalada malagueña, she was using the white salad onions that are quite often popular here in Malaga. And then you have it typically here, it is with bacalao, which is cod. So you would have cod on it. Sometimes they use the salted cod as well. But in other towns and stuff, I've seen it done with tuna before because cod isn't always readily available. So people put tuna on it. And then when I went to the fridge to get the tuna out, I realized I didn't have any tuna. So I did have some prawns in the freezer, which were raw prawns, which needed cooking, shelling, and then putting on top and then putting in the fridge. And so when I brought this out on the table, I passed it off as that actually this was my take on the ensalada malagueña. Honest truth is, couldn't find anything fishy to put on it apart from prawns. But there you go. I had a tin of cockles, which I was considering, but then I thought the prawns are going to be a lot better. Everybody loved it. So there you go. I think I might start a recipe book. What do you think about that? So, and here we go. This was the photo, which is the thumbnail photo. So I sadly was taking photos of all angles for my new recipe book. No, I'm not going to do a recipe book, but I'd like to. Things that I've learned and bodging your way through it and legging it. But I was quite pleased with that, considering I didn't have to go out and buy anything. And and the last thing I have to say on that front as well is, did you know that the perfectly cooked boiled egg is the one that you can't see the sulfur, I think it is, on the outside, the grey and the outside, the yolk? It has to be perfectly cooked. It has to look like one of those eggs. And there you go. And they are eggs from my chickens. So I was quite pleased with that, considering I forgot to go out and buy anything from the shops. It goes to show, check out the fridge, a few potatoes, a few oranges, parsley on top, find a bit of fish, chop some onions up. You don't need to go out. And that's a filling and wholesome salad. Right, then we're going to wrap up. Just going to go back to the comments and say cheerio to everybody. So, Robbo says Ferry the Mayo used to be right in the town centre, but because they are building a new marina, which should have been opened on the December 24. The ferry was moved to Regenera. Is that close then, Regenera? Where's that? Is that anywhere near you? Paul Cook said, viewers, remember to click like and help the channel. Cheers, Paul. Thanks. Yes, let's get up to 5,000 subscribers in 2025. That's my mission. And Robert said, regeneration in the marina was originally quoted at 16 million. I believe it's currently now at 48. That sounds like a Spanish building quote, really, doesn't it? Should have opened in December 24, now looking like December or October. Well, maybe I'll have to come for that. And Alex said, we'll be trying that very soon. Love food, and we may even add. Cheers. Yeah, it's brilliant. Try it. Get the old potatoes boiling up, not too hard. Test them, and then put it. What I did was I put it straight in the fridge to cool it all down and maintain it. Everybody gets a bit finicky about food and wine and temperatures here, and I just don't. It's warm. It's hot here now. Anything over 25 degrees, you have to put it in the fridge and then just get it out, because 10 minutes after you put it on the table, it's more or less room temperature anyway. So, that goes for red wine as well. Can I say that? Now, the red wine, everybody will say it needs to be drank between 18 and 20 degrees room temperature. But room temperatures in Spain, they vary wildly. They're crazy. So, personally, I think that the room temperature when you got the fire on could be anything up to 25, 30 degrees. So your wine needs to sit outside, for a little while before you bring it in. And in the summer, there's nothing wrong with putting red wine in the fridge, guys. There isn't. I disagree if anybody says there is, because in the summer, if it's a 40 degrees outside and it's 30 in the room, that wine needs to be chilled and maybe just left a little bit before you have it. So there you go. That's my opinion on that. All right, and cheers for watching. We will see you all next week. I've got to run now, pick up my daughter from gymnastics. She's got a big tournament this weekend, so hopefully I can get some videos there, and we will catch up with you all very soon if I can find the outro.